It is finally time as March Madness is finally here, and that means we got the 3 seed Michigan State Spartans versus the 14 seed North Dakota State Bison. As you talk about this matchup, it is my honor to introduce one of my favorite podcast hosts and one of the best
Oh,
for
stop.
Michigan State, Matt
Stop.
Sheehan of Locked On Spartans,
Definitely.
and my co-host, Liam. How are the both of you guys doing? Welcome, Matt. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
Dude, thanks a lot for having me to answer your question. How am I doing? I've never been more awful in my entire life. I'm thrilled to be on this show, but this is the worst time of year for me, mental health wise. So I'm in shambles. Thank you for asking. Very nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah. No, same. Liam, how are you doing? Are you
I'm
doing
doing all
the
right.
same?
It's I don't know. It's crazy that we're playing the first four right now as we're recording this, and like 36 hours out now. So,
Yeah.
but I'm all right. I'm doing good. I'm feeling confident, at least for the round of 64.
That's good. Hey, that's a good start. Okay, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Good.
I was just going to say, always good to feel confident going into the round of 64. MSU 16.5-point favorite against North Dakota State. What were you guys' original thoughts on not only the draw, but when you saw this matchup come in? I know, Matt, you didn't necessarily love it per se, or they didn't necessarily want to be the team you were playing, but just overall thoughts
Yeah.
real quick.
Bummed they slid down to a 3. Happy as a college basketball fan that they actually took the Big Ten tournament final into consideration. It's about time they've done it now.
Yeah.
I wish it didn't come to the expense of Michigan State, of course, but yes. Beforehand, I thought, hey, if you do slip down to a 3 seed, the 14th seed that you want to avoid is North Dakota State, and they're solid from 3. They got 5 guys that shoot the 3-point ball at 37%, and I think really the big reason that has me a little shook is look at our last 2 games. It was just 3 after 3 after 3 given up. So are these things that can be fixed defensively? Well, under Tom Izzo, you certainly hope that they could be. Now, what actually softens the blow, and I got a little too caught up in their rebounding statistics, they are a top 20 defensive rebounding team. As far as rebounding percentage goes, one of my favorite ways to look at rebounding. But they only played one Quad 2 team. They didn't play any Quad 1 team. They played a bunch of Summit League teams, of course, their own conference. They played even a D2 school. I think there's a D3 school in the mix there. A rebounding percentage can lie to you sometimes if you're playing lesser competitions. So do I think MSU can control the boards and will control the boards? Yes, but man, you guys got to just clean up the defense on 3-point land, man, because I'm not trying to see some kid from Fargo go off for like 6 3-pointers and change this game on a dime. So I'm fine with it now, but yeah, I just really wish they stuck at that too. That would have been this would have made life a lot more easier, guys.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with the it's crazy that like the one time the Big Ten tournament matters, it's to hurt Michigan State instead of all the years it could have benefited them.
It's fine.
I was watching Izzo's presser. I don't know if it was. I think it was yesterday. And he was talking about. I mean, how he wished that could have happened in 2016, and then we never would have had that catastrophic day. So, yeah, I mean, NDSU, they're a solid team. Like you said, they'll rely a lot on rebounding and rebounding rate. That was a good point you brought up. That it does lie to you. They're 0-1 versus Quad 2.
It can, yeah.
0-0 versus Quad 1. It's like that is going to be such a big adjustment for them to come from playing against the St. Thomas and North Dakota, Oral Roberts of the world to play Michigan State, and you still think State should dominate on the glass.
Yeah, no, you absolutely hope for. Obviously, one of the best players that North Dakota has is obviously the leading scorer, point guard in Damari Wheeler-Thomas. He's a little bit of a smaller point guard as well, 6 foot. You would love to see Jeremy Fears absolutely shut him down, right? Like defensively, like Jeremy Fears is obviously a big part of this offense. He's been kind of the main consistent guy for Michigan State outside of Carson Cooper, who's been very consistent as well. If Jeremy Fears plays as well as defensively as he has been, I really do think he has the ability to shut down Damari Wheeler-Thomas for the most part.
This Damari kid's playing hot, too. He averages 14 points a game, which is good in his own right, but set upperclassman urgency that he's getting at the end of the year because 7 of his last 8 games, he's gone above that 14 points. Like, this kid is playing white hot, but just like you said, a little on the undersized. Like, this isn't like a 6'4" guard. He is 6 feet on a roster. So I assume Fears can handle him. If things get a little dicey, you can go ahead, switch him off to Jordan Scott, who's no stranger to handling the other team's best perimeter player too. But it is a game where you do miss Divine Ukachukwu. I mean, as if you haven't been missing him enough the last few weeks. This would be another good assignment for him. But yeah, I don't hate the matchup here. I would expect Jeremy Fears to get the better of Damari Wheeler, but I need to knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anything here. It just seems like this is a fine matchup. Your best player's a point guard. How many times have we seen that this year? And like, it seemed to work out pretty okay for Michigan State. Let's just keep it going here. I mean, this game needs to start. I'm sorry. I'm too stressed to be here. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, I have the same thought process. So every time you go into a game and their best player is the point guard, you're like, well, I at least halfway like our chances. Like,
Yeah.
and they grew up an hour away from each other. I don't know. I would assume they have at least a little familiarity with each other, being in the same class and an hour away.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? But
Good call.
again, yeah, I like Jeremy Fears to get in. It'll just be another level of an intensity for Damari and for all the Bison. And I hope that Michigan State can lean on that and play a complete 40 minutes and just grind them down over the game.
Yeah, and over those 40 minutes, hopefully, someone else don't want to. We're not going to be mean here. Over those 40 minutes, we might see someone else at the point guard when Jeremy Fears is not necessarily in. Maybe Jordan Scott gets a little bit of the run at the point guard. We saw a little bit against UCLA, so don't know necessarily what's going to happen with the backup point guard in this game, but hopefully it's at this point where Michigan State isn't necessarily going to be too much of an issue at that point, hopefully.
If who we are talking about, the assistant coach's kid does come into the game, and it's catastrophic against a Summit League team, I'm going to be so red in the face, it's going to create a new shade of the color. If you can perform against anyone, Mr. Harvard transfer, it should be against a Summit League team. So please just chew off 5 decent minutes of that. Not even good. Hear what I'm saying. I'm not asking the world here. 5 decent minutes. No turnovers. No getting blown to smithereens on ball screens. And if you should get lost in the screen, let's recover accordingly. This is the last time that I could see him and like not have my heart explode in my chest. So last call for Denim Wojcik. Make your 5 or 6 minutes count, young man. And no pressure. No pressure.
So Matt, you don't want another fall away midi with like 7 seconds left on the shot clock, or
not necessarily. No, okay. I could do without that, and just then have his body cartoonishly sprawled across the court like he's Wile E. Coyote or something. No, I'm all set. That was fun in the non-conference in December. We all had our laughs then. I'm done laughing now during games. This is chuckles were before the calendar fit to 2026. I need real basketball now, please.
Yeah.
Please.
And also, I think you need consistent play from some of your main guys, right? Carson Cooper, we talked a little bit about. Cohen Carr, I think obviously has stepped up in big games, but also been a little quiet in big games as well. Jackson Kohler needs to show a little bit better as well. Been a little bit better recently. Was obviously really good against Michigan. Maybe not so great against, obviously, UCLA. For you guys, what are like the key guys, really outside Jeremy Fears that you're really wanting to see perform well and kind of respond back from that UCLA performance?
This game specifically, I think this is another game that sets up pretty well for Cohen Carr. Now, he's had his roadblocks, of course, throughout the season, but that's usually against pretty great, if not borderline elite front courts that you've run into. I think that athletically, this could be a lineup where he just does the thing, and I'm sorry to boil it down to something so simple, but where he just powers his way to the low block, gets there, has no plan whatsoever, but he doesn't need a plan because he could just figure it out in the moment. All right, am I going to jump over this guy? Am I going to just put it on the glass here? Am I going to give him the old fadeaway game here? He could figure out he has done that against mediocre front courts, and no disrespect to North Dakota State, yeah, like Big Ten's a different animal. He's done it against a few of those teams. I think that he can have a nice bounce back game here. So I'm going to go with Cohen Carr for this game specifically for my little X factor here.
Yeah, I like that answer. I mean, the way the way you described it perfectly, he doesn't even need a plan
Yeah, who
against a team
cares?
with
Right. Yeah.
he's gonna be superior in athleticism and he's gonna be able to get up at the rim better than any shot contester will. So I like Cohen. I want to see Jax let some of those looks he gets from deep where, where he brings the ball up and never lets it fly. I would like to see him let a couple of those fly because you never know. Again, like North Dakota State, 17-point favorites, whatever. You might not need it on Thursday, but you might need it Saturday or the week after that. And if you could get Jackson getting back to hitting like 2 threes, kind of like he was in December, early January, I think it could be big, at least going forward. Maybe not for
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, no, I agree with both of you. I think it's one of those things where obviously, like the kind of most elite scorers that North Dakota has, like the players that you really truly have to kind of worry about, is going to be majority of the guards, right? Like it should be a game where Michigan State should out rebound, should kind of dominate down low. And I'm also really interested in a guy in Hardy Strickland. He actually was at Western Michigan for a few years under Dwayne Stevens. And there's been a little bit of talk of maybe Izzo trying to bring Dwayne Stevens around a little bit, maybe to Buffalo. That could be something that could be really interesting to watch because Dwayne Stevens, if anyone's going to know who Strickland is the best, it's going to be him.
Absolutely. That's a great call out. Yeah, I think that Dwayne Stevens is locked inside of the film room right now, somewhere in the halls of Breslin Center, not allowed to leave until he's got every single move of Strickland figured out. And I caught that too. That hey, Strickland played at Western Michigan. He didn't play a whole ton. I guess he wasn't as productive as he should have been for the Broncos. So that also gives me a little bit of, comfort in this game too. Okay, one of their best players is a guy that couldn't really play at Western, and this could be just fool's logic right now. Like I'm grasping at anything to ease my mind even a little bit going into this game. That has helped a little bit, and the fact that Dwayne Stevens is going to be there cooking up a game plan too, most likely, I like that a lot. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's that much of fool's logic. I mean, clearly
Helping me.
Dwayne Stevens' Broncos teams weren't all that great because he got run out of there. So, like you said, I mean, if he wasn't producing in Kalamazoo, it should bode well against the team coming from East Lansing.
I hope.
You would hope so. It's one of those things where obviously like there's a little bit of relationship, a little bit of familiarity with, so obviously he understands a little bit more. But we talked about like shooting wise, obviously I think that's everyone's biggest concern with North Dakota State is the 3-point shooting, right? And just really kind of the overall defense efficiency for Michigan State at the last 10 games without Divine Ugochukwu has dropped quite a bit. I think he was a bigger component of that a lot of people fully believed in. Maybe not like a quote unquote like elite like one-on-one defender, but I think just his like communication style, I think just his ability to kind of guard someone to really trust. And now obviously you have a guy in Jordan Scott that's having to play kind of against the other team's best or second best player. And he's really kind of having to really guard him. And I think that's another big component of why he's kind of struggled offensively recently with his shot is because he's having to really focus on that. And I was listening to another podcast I enjoy, Sleepers Media, and they were mentioning a little bit about like, it kind of seems like a little bit of like a Max Christie kind of storyline.
That's what I've been saying too. I know.
I was
it
gonna
feels
say,
like it's deja vu. It's crazy. Yeah.
I think Matt said, did you not say that in the UCLA preview? I think you said that.
I think so, but like it truly feels like we're all living like just this all over again. It's like, wow, hey, a freshman, he's kind of falling off at the end of the season offensively, but that's because he's against the other team's best wing player. It's like, wait, hold it. That like, yeah, this because we just lived it 3 years ago. It feels like. I mean, oh, sure. Well, hold on. Max Chris was like, how long ago was 2021? Actually, no one tell me. I don't need a crisis right now. But anyway,
5 years.
No, don't tell me that. God, that feels like a knife in the chest. But yeah, truly, like it feels like we're just doing all this over again. So I'm not panicked yet about Jordan Scott. I'm noticing. I'm monitoring the situation here, what's going on offense.
Yeah.
Still a good player, don't get me wrong.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, of course, but yeah, I think there is a little bit of a wall being approached right now, and that's because of the minutes he's throwing on those legs
I was
on the
gonna say,
defensive side of the ball.
yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone really anticipated this role for him
No.
in October,
Oh,
anyways.
of course not. Yeah,
So
right.
that plays into it too.
What's helped though offensively is that Kurt Tang has started hit shots consistently. And that's been a huge part for MSU.
Yeah.
Outside of obviously like UCLA, where no one was hitting shots for Michigan State. Like he's
It's at
been
number
hitting
9.
better. Yeah.
Oh man, I just Kurt. You got to close out on 3-pointer. I'm sorry to like bring it all the way back to defense and just keep being paranoid
Yeah.
about what North Dakota State should do. But yeah, I'm comfortable for the most part of what Kerr does offensively. I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't the smoothest of starts to the season, but yeah, at this point, sure. I'm fine with him on that side of the court. Now, when we cross the half court side, now I'm starting to understand Izzo saying that you couldn't even guard his own mother. We're starting to see it now. But
A little bit.
hopefully, you can be at least laterally as quick as a Summit League team. Now, I sound so disrespectful when I talk about North Dakota State. Like they have earned their way here. They are making scholarships too. But
Yeah.
it is a different. It's a different breed over here. I don't think I'm out of line saying that.
No, that's not out of line at all.
I hope not.
And I think it's funny because we're talking about Kerr and his defense, and then obviously the Trey Ford defense has been a thing since
Ever.
he got on campus. And I don't know. It was just tragic on what was that Friday when he's hit his 2 threes and the midi and then he cuts it to 5 and then he's the guy sagging off in the corner and they get it out back up to 8. It's like, oh my God, dude, like stay up.
We got the full experience.
Yeah,
Right,
100%. The good shot making and then just the
it's fantastic. Yeah.
And I also think we all can agree, like, we do not want to see that on Thursday whatsoever. Like, those open threes were just over and over
I know.
and over. It was almost like one of those situations where you continue to do the keep same thing over and over and over. Like, it's like you're just going crazy. You're like, it's legitimately the same thing. And you would really think offensively, if you look at North Dakota State, again, really the only thing that is majorly concerning is shooting the 3. Like if you guard the 3, if you are as good as you have been, like I don't want to make it seem so simple, but just protect
Kind
the
of is,
3
though.
rebounds. You're fine if you do that for the most part.
I even asked, and this is an episode coming out tomorrow, Locked on Spartans, catch it. Mike McFeely, now he is a columnist over in Fargo. He has covered North Dakota State, and I straight up said, like, it seems like the only path to an upset is just getting nuclear from 3-point land. Let's say that they just shoot okay. Is there another path? And he basically said, like, no, like, get a bunch of second chance points like they have been all season, but against the Michigan State team whose calling card is rebounding, like that, it kind of seems like fantasy. So, yes, there is a path to victory for North Dakota State here, but it has to come beyond the 3-point ball, right? I'm not crazy in thinking this. I mean,
No.
that's
No,
got
I
to
don't
be the only
think you are.
path.
No, I think it honestly comes on both sides for them because I was on BartTorvik.com filtered by the last month, like February 18th, just to see kind of how they've been doing. And they actually defend the 3 at like the 38th, 38th best in the country since that time. So,
Okay.
and I mean,
It's good to know.
we aren't a net burning team by any means from deep, but it's gotten better throughout the years. So I think if we can limit their 3s and make enough of ours, I think it is really that simple because you look at they should not be able, in any world, they should not be able to out-rebound, even though that's one of their strengths.
Mhm.
So what's their next strength? Go to the 3-point line?
Yeah.
Like our
Sounds
shot?
logical to me. I think we figured it out.
Yeah.
Get us on the sideline.
I was just gonna say it's that simple, right?
I think it
Rebound,
is.
sap the three. That's the answer for Michigan State. But this is also a team that does not get to the line very much, and they don't shoot
No.
it very well either. So obviously, foul trouble is always a concern when you go into March Madness, especially with the bigs for Michigan State, Jeremy Fears. But I really would be surprised if they get to the free throw line that much. And even if they do, like this is not a good free throw shooting team. I'm not saying MSU is elite by any means, but like MSU is a better free throw shooting team than North Dakota State is.
Yeah.
We need Jeremy Fears to get in his bag too and start getting some of these guys in foul trouble immediately. Like we're going to give you the full Big Ten package here, what it's like to play with the big boys. Like, yeah, sure, physicality, whatever. Here's some premium. And I'm talking like top shelf foul baiting right now. Like get ready to witness greatness here.
Right. I was going to say, Zach, when you said the team is an elite, the good thing is I'd say we have an elite singular free throw shooter. So
we have the guy. Yeah.
And he'll get there 15 times, hopefully. So make 13
sure
of them, and we should be all good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think he's like 89 or 90% at this point. If I'm another fan base, like obviously I love Jeremy Fears, but if I'm another fan base, like I would hate to see Jeremy Fears coming like any single game, like second team All-American, a guy that gets to the line 10, 15 times a game, a guy that's getting better from the three. Like Jeremy Fears truly is the stir that moves the streak for Michigan State, and he always has been.
He'd cause you to throw the remote clean through the television in some cases. Yeah. I mean, he's awesome, like just as a player, but yeah, he's awesome at doing the annoying things too, which is just amazing. Amazing.
Love it. Liam, do you have anything else before we wrap up here shortly?
Should we hit some game picks or what?
Yeah, let's do game picks. Matt, we will have you go first as the guest. Who to have in this game, and do we want to go spreads? Do we want to go over under the 16.5 right now?
I'm a coward, and I'm doing this to mentally protect myself, even though it's not going to work, but let me try. Okay. North Dakota State covers.
16.
Michigan State wins, though. It's going to be a lower scoring game. You know, different environment, maybe different balls. I don't know if Michigan State shoots a Wilson ball. I'm going to do that research actually right after this because you got to look at everything here. I'm going to go Michigan State a smooth 72, and then North Dakota State 60, a nice round 60. So a Spartan victory. That is a little hairy for the first 32 minutes, and then they start to pull away there at the very end. I hope that is just a obliteration right off the top, but we know how this goes.
So basically, your typical MSU round of 64 game.
Just every game they've ever played in the round of 64. Just do it. Pop in the VHS of last year's Bryant game, and we'll just do that again.
Or it's way too uncomfortable for 35 minutes, and then they just make a run at the end, and you're like no stress whatsoever.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say another one. Kind of like my pick was gonna be. I don't know. I really don't know if we cover. I hope they do, but I was gonna say. I'm sure. I feel like it's gonna play out kind of like another game. I'm sure Matt and Zach, you guys were pretty sane in 2019 against Bradley. That one was really fun for a lot of the game. But
do you remember the 10-0 run that Bradley had in a minute? I will never feel that feeling ever again the rest of my life. That was the most helpless, painful.
It would have been twice in 3 years. It would have been twice in 4 years, I guess. But I don't know. I'll say they get a late cover, 75-57.
There we go.
75-57. Fears goes for 22 and 12.
Love it. I will go with the cover as well. I'll go a little bit higher scoring for MSU. I think MSU is going to get close to 80 in this one. I think it's going to be 78. 60. I think the defense steps up. I think it's an 18-point win for Michigan State at the end of the game. I think it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for MSU towards the end, or at least I think that's what we're all hoping for at the end of the day.
We're not just hoping; we need it. It'd be so sick to just watch a first round game not feeling like you're going to keel over and die at halftime. Just like something like a double-digit halftime lead never do anyone any damage? No?
Or
Nice.
could we go into the second half with a lead? That would be great too.
And then like not cough up the double-digit lead out of halftime before the under-16 timeout rolls around? Like, wow, we're getting greedy now. We're asking the world here from this team.
We got to get back to that 19 round of 32 Sweet 16. Those two, the LSU and the Minnesota game. We need something like that tomorrow. Thursday.
My God. That feeling of euphoria just watching freshman Gabe Brown and Aaron Henry just dot threes in LSU. Oh, euphoric.
LSU team was good too. Like
Tremont Waters.
Tremont Waters was.
Yeah. I thought he was going to hang 40 on us that day, but they kept him in check, luckily. Thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. But Matt, really appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your
thanks
day.
for jumping on.
Before
appreciate you guys.
Before ending, though, I do want to give you the opportunity. Where can people find you? Where can people support your stuff? Where people can go to Locked On Spartans? Great podcast. Listen to it daily. Love what you do.
Just like you said, daily on YouTube podcast, Locked On Spartans, if you want to come join the insane asylum for however long Michigan State wants to keep playing basketball. When it does end, we will formally recognize football again. We'll get into all that. So, but yeah, just like you said, we're doing it 5 days a week. Locked On Spartans. Thanks for letting me shout that out, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you again so much for joining, Liam. Thank you again for joining tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Michigan State, North Dakota State, Thursday, shortly after 4 o'clock. Can't believe March Madness is here. Should be a fun game. Hopefully it's going to be a fun game. Hopefully it'll be one that MSU fans are going to be less stressful in. But we'll see. We'll obviously talk about it after it happens. Again, go shout out, go listen, go support Matt's stuff. He does great work at Locked On Spartans. Liam, again, thank you so much for joining, and tune in to the next episode when we recap this game against Michigan State, North Dakota State. Hopefully a win for Michigan State, but we'll be here no matter what happens. Thanks again for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment as well. Really appreciate you guys.